nesting box versus force feeding box. Okay, on the rabbit farm, these two boxes are very compulsory. Here is a nesting box. For the nesting box, we always have it. In fact, they look similar, but they perform two different functions. So I will start with the nesting box. When the rabbit is crossed and 2 to 3 days to delivery, we always place this nesting box in the room of the cage. And this box, inside of it, we put we mostly put dry plantain leaves or banana leaf, the dry one is what we use there as bedding. So the minute you put this inside of the cage, the doe, which is a mother rabbit, understands instantly that you have prepared a place for her where she's going to kindle, where she's going to give birth. Okay, this nesting box, as we have it here, is 10 inches in breadth and 18 inches in length. Also, the height from here to here is also 6 inches. Meanwhile, this particular one I'm showing now has plank as a floor. We have series of them also that we have net instead of plank. So if you want it to be plank or you want it to be net, they are all good. They are all good. So you can either have the floor to be plank or you have it to be, in fact, some farmers will tell you they prefer to have it as plank. Some will tell you they prefer to have it as net. Both the plank floor and the net floor, we have them here on the farm. And we have so much number of them because it is a nesting box to a doe. It is a nesting box to a doe. So, like I said, this one is prepared for the female rabbit, the mother rabbit, the doe, to give birth inside of it and not on the floor of the cage. So when your rabbit is about to give birth and you prepare this one for them 2 to 3 days that time with some plantain or banana leaves, the rabbit also will start to pull her fur, to pull her hair on it to make more beddings for her to kindle on. So that is for the nesting box. The second box I have here is the force feeding box. This is a force feeding box, and you can tell by merely looking at these two boxes that this one is bigger than this one. Yes, for the force feeding box, we don't want it to be too spacious because the function is there are some rabbits that gives birth and don't want to breastfeed the kittens. So we have to bring in the kittens here into this. You don't need to lay any bedding for this one, no. Just bring in the, yes, and that's why we have the floor as wooden or plank, whatever you want to use. So we don't need any bedding for this. You just bring in the kittens inside of here, and then you now bring the mother, the doe also, and place her carefully, holding her very carefully inside of this box. So when you hold her tight, the kittens now, the children, as you might want it, but we call them kittens on the farm. Baby rabbit is kitten. So the kitten will be able to suck from their mother. So we do this twice in a day. Some do it once in a day. But on the farm here, we do it twice. Early in the morning, when you notice the mother does not want to breastfeed them, early in the morning and later in the evening. So these two boxes are different entirely. Entirely. The dimension for this is the breadth is 6 inches. This breadth here is 6 inches, while the length, some have it as 14, some have it as 16. But just make sure that it doesn't give room for the doe, the mother rabbit, to start to move about. When you place a dough here now, it's like this thing is compact for the dough to just be inside of it, and there are no room to shake body. So until the kittens have sucked very well, they suck very well, then you now lift the dough, return her to the cage. And at times you might put the kittens there with her in the nesting box, you return them to the nesting box there, or some farmers just keep them aside. Since the mother doesn't want to take care of them, just put them in another room, in another cage. So that is the function of this box. And you cannot interchange the function these boxes for each other. No, you cannot use a force feeding box as nesting box, because a nesting box is supposed to be wide, to be big enough, so that anytime the mother wants to step in, she will not be able to step on the kittens, because it is wide enough, it is spacious enough for her. But if you are to use this in place of nesting box, it is not wide enough. So anytime the mother step into this, she will always step on the kittens. She will always step on the kittens. So you don't use a force feeding box in place of a nesting box. And you don't use a nesting box also in the place of force feeding box, because the nesting box is wide, very wide. So by the time you are to hold a doe, a mother rabbit here for the kitten to suck, she will want to struggle with you. In fact, she will struggle with you. And by then, she will not be stable, because this one is very wide. So you cannot use a force feeding box for nesting box, and you cannot use a nesting box as force feeding box. They all have their functions separately. So I know you have a lot of questions. Do well to place your questions beneath this video in the comment section. And also, if you're not following us yet, you should subscribe and follow us. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell to always get notification anytime we drop educational videos like this. Thank you so much. Till we meet again.